My love and me, well, smoother than a gentle breeze, flowing through my mind with ease, soft as can be. Well, when you're loving me, when you're loving me, love to be riding the waves of your love, enchanted with the touch. And it seems to me
I didn't mean to do that.
together in and out of
Mystery.
Well, I wanna be
Living for the love of you. Hey, what's up, TJ?
All that I'm
Living is for the love of you.
You got me, girl. I wanna be
Living for the love.
Good morning, Rue.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. That's right. My bad. Afternoon. That's right. I'm trying to see something real quick. Let me know if you can hear me when this mic come on.
Okay.
Can't feel insecure again without you. Well,
I don't hear anything yet. If you're
Can you hear
talking,
me?
oh, I see.
Can you hear me, Rue?
I can hear you now.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
don't have no echo and then do it.
No echo. Nice and clear.
Good.
I'm just sharing it out right now while we listen to some old school.
I might as well sign my name on a card.
Let me share it from my other page. We need all avenues.
Exactly. Everybody, all hands on deck. Get in here.
Hey.
I just told her just take my truck. Drop me off at home and take care of your business because I'm going to be on the podcast.
Right. Okay. Let me share this too. Let me share this to my wifey. Let's see if she pop up. She got time for that. She live in Georgia. Yeah, because there's certain people want to support, but they hardly ever on TikTok. You know, or get notifications. So you gotta like send them a text. You know what I mean? What's up, Key? Welcome in. Good afternoon. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? We'll get started. I know we 2 minutes late. We 2 minutes late. Ooh. I'm just doing my due diligence, sharing it out real quick, and then we're gonna get started, y'all. Just enjoy the tunes. Oops, I sent it to you, TJ. That's all right. Let the algorithm think we sending it out to many people.
Let's go. What's good, everybody?
What's up, Arlene? Thank you for the heart, me, y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate it. You know, you rocking here with the Hard Truth Podcast with TJ Knows and Ruth the Truth. We talking money today. What you said,
money.
TJ? What you said about
Look, that's
money?
my favorite subject right there. Look, I love talking about some money. Now let's get to it.
Yes, let's get to it.
I'm gonna stay on top of it. Hey, Amazing topic right there, because everybody want money, right? Everybody
Right.
want money. What's up, PR? What's good with you, brother?
What's up,
What's going on,
PR?
Arlene? What's good? How you doing, Key, what's good? Happy Saturday, everybody. Y'all already know you're in the place to be on this Saturday for the Hard Truth Podcast. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Give me one second. I'm just now. Let me tell you something. What got me in the chokehold this morning? First of all, I had to make breakfast. It's cold as hell. The wind blowing so dang hard. I thought, the big bad wolf was out there. But I had to make me some coffee and a nice cream of wheat, old school breakfast. Okay.
Not the cream of wheat.
Cream of wheat, baby.
That's gonna stick to your bones, warm you right on up.
Right. And an episode of Bridgerton, okay? That was nice morning.
Oh man, sounds like a great morning breakfast if you ask me.
All right, y'all. Y'all listening to the Hard Truth Podcast with Ruth the Truth and TJ Knows, where we say the quiet parts out loud. Real conversations, no filters. This is
the Hard Truth Podcast. Let's go. Let's go, y'all. Now, y'all already know we got to have a song of the day, especially when we're talking about whatever topic we're talking about. We wanted to relate. But nonetheless, we're here to have a good time. We're going to talk some great topics every Saturday, and we run it back on Sundays. So you're more than welcome to come up on the panel and join in if you have any opinions or statements or just giving us your life experiences when it comes to the topic. And we're going to enjoy the day like we have done for the last 5 weeks, y'all. We're on week 6. Let's go. The Hard Truth Podcast is taking off. Let's get it.
That's crazy. I cannot believe it has been 6 weeks. That's crazy to me. Guys, let me tell you this real quick. If you have a thought in your mind of something that you want to do, stop letting it be a thought.
Exactly.
And start making it happen. Okay? Just do.
Just
stop thinking about the ifs, the what ifs, the maybes, and just do. Just run with it and everything will fall into place if it's meant to be. Okay? So this was a thought of ours. This was just an actual very casual conversation, and it just began from there. Hey, thank you.
Hey, let's go.
So just do it, okay?
Ranking up over here. Got me ranking up over here. Let's go. What's good? What's good? Thanks for tapping in. Make sure you hit me up.
All right, y'all. So if you didn't see my post, because I already gave the intro on there, we're going to say it again. If you didn't see my post, money isn't just paper. It's power, security, freedom, and fear. And men and women are taught completely different stories about what it means. So this weekend, we're going to talk about how money shapes our confidence, our relationships, and how we see ourselves. All right. So what was the first thing that you learned about money growing up?
All I knew when I was growing up was that money didn't grow on trees.
Right.
Your parents say that a million times. Money don't grow on trees. Money don't grow on trees. So we've talked about it in previous podcasts too, with my parents saying, "Hey, we can't afford it. We ain't got it," and just put me in the sense of, what, I got to get out here and grind myself to get the things that I want. Because they only got enough money for them or for what they want me to have. So yeah, that was the biggest thing that I learned about money. I didn't and how to count it, right? How to give correct change back. Right. That was pretty much it. We didn't get any type of things of learning how to have money work for you. That's why I say I love it now, because as I grew and realized how money is supposed to work for you versus always you working for it. I was like, oh man, I wish I would have known that. To where even, when you was younger and you didn't understand money, as soon as you got it, it was gone. As soon as you got it, it burned a hole in your pocket. And it was gone, right? So yeah, it took a while to learn it, but as a young kid, nothing about how money is supposed to really be used and actually really supposed to work for you. It was just really money don't grow on trees. You can't have this and you can't have that. I can't afford it. I gotta take care of this. Be happy you got the bills. Be happy that you got your roof over your head and you got your lights. And okay, that's all I can do, right? When it came to that. And when we can get some money, I think our most exciting time of getting money was either birthday, Christmas, or income tax season.
Right.
So yeah, but of course, living it do grow on trees.
Oh my God, Arlene! I knew y'all didn't. I know. I'm crying. So there's this old saying, I'm sure PR probably heard this before. De donde voy a sacarle el dinero? De la crica. Like, where you gonna get this money from? The woman's you know what? And go sell it on the corner.
And go sell it. That is funny. There's a lot of statements out there. There's a lot of statements out there we was told, like, hey.
See, PR said he's heard it daily.
Daily. He heard it daily. Oh man.
You don't ask no Puerto Rican mother for nothing, because that's the response right there. Okay? That's horrible. Ew, that's disgusting now that you sit here and, think about that.
Think about it now that you grow. Sugar Mama, how you doing? Thanks for tapping in.
What's up, Sugar Mama? Welcome in. Thank you for coming in. Oh my God, that's hilarious. So guys, what was the first thing you learned about money growing up? The first thing I learned is that we didn't have it, damn it. We didn't have any. That's the first thing I learned. And don't ask for shit because we ain't got it. Period. Okay? That it don't grow on trees. That's what TJ answer was too, Sugar Mama.
Yeah, I think that was every black household.
Right.
I think that was every black and brown household. Because like I said, we didn't have it. We only had enough to survive for one, but also just to get the necessities. Right. And it was barely room for wants, Mm-hmm. And it's almost like that's coming back around now. Like they're trying to make society get back to that. Because so many people, are getting the answers to the test is what I call it. It's like, hey, the answers to the test are being given by a lot of wealthy people. So more people can become wealthy. I think we have the most millionaires and billionaires that the world have ever seen nowadays.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because honestly, nowadays, 6 figures is not a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people are still struggling with 6 figures. So they are more millionaires that you're seeing in our community alone. So I'm loving that, because you realize once you get to a certain point, like I said, 6 figures don't even seem like it's enough. Like, it really doesn't. I got stories. It's not enough. I feel like it's enough to survive. But to really do the things that you desire to do, it really, for some, it's not enough.
Exactly. And I'm telling you, it's not enough because you gotta keep up with the times. You gotta keep up with what society is, what is called inflation, the cost of living, everything goes up. It goes up so much. And it's going up so quickly, but the income, if your job isn't keeping up with that, it puts you even in a more of a bind of where am I going to get that next check from, or I'm going to get that next dollar from, and what do I got to do that?
Right. But not only that, like you said, with keeping up with inflation, yeah, your job will keep up with it and give you a raise. But then once they give you that raise, that yearly, infamous raise they give you, if you got medical benefits, they go up too. So there go your raise. It go to that difference. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, did I even really get a raise?
Exactly. They don't calculate in. You also got to calculate the taxes too.
Right. More money, more problems.
More
Let me tell
money,
you
more
something.
problems.
When it comes to me personally, I have not gotten a tax return since 2013. Okay.
Oh,
And so what I started doing was I wasn't letting them take no taxes out of my check because I got to pay anyway. So for a few years I did do that, and when I got my bonus from my job, I just paid the taxes. So for 2025, I decided I'm gonna let them take out taxes. Let me see if I will owe this time.
right.
And sure enough, I still owe. And they took over $6,000 in federal taxes, and I still owe more. Are you kidding me? What do you want from me? You want my firstborn's pinky toe? What do you want?
They want it all back in blood around here, man. I like
And
BRC.
this is what I mean.
That
More
raise
money, more
don't mean
problems.
Yes, for real. Every time my VA check go up, so does my rent. You're not lying. And that's crazy because you're not lying. Because every year, the rent, they want to go up on users. Like, what did y'all improve? What did y'all go? What did you change to make it better to where you're going up this amount? And it's not like they going up a creeping amount like $25. They going up hundreds of dollars at a time. And it's like, what?
Look, if you can get a condo or
Yeah.
a house, so
The cost of living
and then
is-
you have to look into what type of mortgage you get also, because some do change. Mine actually has decreased because my escrow decreased since I purchased my condo in 2023. So what I pay out on my mortgage has gone down, but I still pay the same as I did before and let that go towards the principal.
Exactly. That's one thing I was going to share on today to just give a little bit of insights on being, spending money and having money work for you, and knowing that assets versus the liabilities. That's one thing that I like to share as well. So you're smart, very smart when it comes to what you're doing with a house, because that's an asset. Everybody can't buy a house just yet. Everybody don't want to buy a house. They're okay with renting.
Mm-hmm.
What is the good thing about having your own house? Like, say, if you're ready to sell it, you're going to get all of that money you've been paying into your mortgage. You're going to be able to get it back once that house is sold. So, and plus some. It's not that you're going to just get just that money you spent. You're going to get that plus some because the house increases in value. The equity goes up on the house. So if you bought a house of $200,000 and then now it's worth $280,000, but you didn't spend $50,000 in the 4 or 5 years you stayed there, and now you want to move out, you're going to get that $80,000 plus that $50,000 back when you sell it for that $280,000. So that's the best thing that is about it versus when you move out of that apartment, because they done raised and hiked the rent up so much. You barely can get your deposit back. They want to go up to things, to get your deposit back. But nonetheless, just giving you how to view that, because a lot of people always say things and such. Oh, it's not a good idea to buy homes because you gotta do this on your own. You gotta do this on your own. And you gotta do this. No matter if you're doing all of those things, just think of the money. All of that money will come back to you if you ever was to decide to sell that home and somebody else take it up. But if you look at it, the money that you're spending, that you would have been spending in the mortgage, in your rent that you're not spending, you put that money to the side. But that's the thing, we don't understand money. So when we look at it, I got an extra. Okay, I was renting for $4,000 a month. I ain't gonna say that much because some people are now, but okay. But I was renting for $2,000 a month in my rent, but now I just bought a house, but my house is only $1,500 in my mortgage a month. Okay, you got $500 left over. Instead of you saying, "Oh, I got $500," you know what I'll do? I'll put $100 towards my escrow. Every month, I'll put another $100 into a home warranty. So if anything break down, all I got to do is pay the deductible. Boom, that's my maintenance man right there. And then boom, I got $300 extra that I can put away just in case some other things happen, right? And so people don't think about doing that. They think I got $500 extra in my pocket. I'm finna go out here and go crazy.
Right.
I'm finna go out here and go crazy. I'm rich, right? And it's like, no, you have to dial it back. But when you don't understand money and you're not used to that, because when have we been taught this? When are we taught this? And we're not taught about it by our parents because heck, they didn't know. They didn't know. They just knew survival mode. They just knew, hey, I go to work. I'm going to work until I can't work no more. And every dollar that I make in, I'm making sure my family is good. I'm making sure my kids got a roof over their head. They got lights. They got water. They got a roof. They got everything that they need. Maybe I could get them some of the things they want later on. But we wasn't taught that. We saw that. So guess what? It drives on with us as we get older. But most of us have gotten into with technology and learning different things. And like I said, getting the answers to the test from wealthy people who've always gotten it, who've always passed it down to their kids and taught their kids, hey, leverage in business. So guess what? Now those kids are coming out and they're telling us things. We got social media and platforms that's opening our eyes to it. But are you going to be willing to grow and learn in those things? Or are you going to be like, well, this is how my mom and them got it. They got it out the mud, so I got to get it out the mud. No.
Right.
Break that chain. And that way now, even though they're not sharing this stuff in school, you can be informing and teaching your next generation and so on and so forth. No, we're a lot bit behind. I ain't gonna say a little bit. We're a lot of bit behind the power curve, but we can start somewhere.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that was going to be my next question. And you started talking about saying that, we're not taught that. Did your family talk about money, or did they hide it? So
They hit it.
absolutely.
They hit it.
They didn't hide it or talk about it, period. Other than I ain't got it.
They ain't got it. My family hit it. I'm gonna say they hit it because my uncles, a few of my uncles had a shop and and worked, had a shop they owned, very, very prominent. He had a large ranch and everything, but he passed it to his kids and taught his kids, but I don't think he taught them enough to where they're doing it now. But back then he didn't. It was all up in here in his head. But you know what I'm saying? But the goodness is that his kids eventually picked up on what they needed to do. And so now the ranch, they turned it into a ATV park. You know what I'm saying? Something that can bring them in revenue on the land. So yeah, so it was something that, like I said, he kept a lot of that to himself. And that's only I'd say hidden by someone that I know that was being very, very that was wealthy, but also knowledgeable in business and making money. He didn't share that with everybody. So yeah, so I would say that was hidden. Plus, they hid money under the mattresses. They had no bank accounts back then. Well, I was like, hey, get out of my room. I gotta go with my stash.
Right.
Those things was real in my house, real talk. So when I see it on TV, I'm like, yeah, my grandma was like that. My mom was like that. So yeah, he said, don't be scared.
Yeah, because he said that he was scared to purchase.
Oh, he was scared to purchase. Oh, okay.
He's hesitant to buy.
Oh, okay. I feel you, brother. It is a process, and that's the reason why a lot of people don't want to, because it's a process, and you don't want, everybody, they want to know all your business when it comes to your spending habits and your credit and stuff like that, and people don't want people all in their business like that. But I'm telling you, it's a process, and once you get it done, man, it's a great feeling. I just looked at it as a challenge for real. Just let's get it done.
So the only thing that I would say is, before purchasing a home, take a class, like for a first-time home buyers class. They have them all over. They have them online. You could find one from a local realtor.
Oh, Tiffany, I thought you was trying to come up. I brought you up.
I thought so too, but I waited a second because she didn't say anything in the comments. I saw it. Because usually I'm quick to just bring them up, but you know how it's easy to tap
That's right.
on this on the way we have it set up. But definitely take a first time homeowners class so that you can learn, because a lot of people feel like, yeah, that's the American dream, being a homeowner, but they don't realize there's nobody to call to come fix nothing without you having to pay them. It's not just you call a landlord like, hey, this broke and this got to come get fixed, and then you just wait on them to come and then they pay to fix it. So you have to be, have a cushion to be able to have, be able to have it when it breaks.
Exactly. And then, oh man, you hit on a big thing right there when you said that American dream. How many of y'all believe in that?
Right.
They believe in that American dream, the way things is, they ain't gonna say the way things is going now, but just in your adult life.
I think only the foreigners believe in American dream because they all trying to come over here, honey. Thinking it's the American dream. I'm like,
but you know what?
I think the street without hearing "pum pum" where I live. So what you trying to come over here for?
And you know what the thing is? The thing is we don't see because we're already here. It's just like being from the outside looking in all the time. So a lot of people from the outside looking in, it's amazing, but at the same time, it is good for them to get the American dream because they house so many people from outside in other countries, immigrants, right? They come in, they get all of the education, all of the information about grants, restarting businesses, and all of that because they're coming into the country. So they're getting told the American dream, all of the secrets, all of the clues, and they're taking those pamphlets, they're taking those notes, and they're applying it. They're putting action to it. We're already over here, so we're like, we
trying to go where they're at.
Right, but yeah, we're trying to go where they're at. Exactly. Nowadays, that's what we're trying to do because we're going and we're able to, see and live a little bit better in certain countries where I know I am. I'm one of them, right? But what I'm trying to say when it comes to the American dream, it is that we are here in the States and we're so I don't say institutionalized about past traumas and past of not knowing and past of not trying to even try to get to it, right? To where we are missing out. Even if some of us are getting it, we're gatekeeping, like we was just saying earlier. Was it hidden from you? We're gatekeeping. Let me get to it first and get to this first, and then I'll share. Then if I do share, I'm gonna charge you, right? And then we also are not just knowing all of the benefits that are out there, all of the loans, the grants and things and all that stuff that we can also have access to. And then when you look at those cultures, you say, oh, wow, this culture, they'll sit in one house, everybody in one house until boom, until they got enough to move this one out. Now they got their own land and their own place. Then boom, this one they got theirs. Now they got their own land and they're coming from those cultures that are doing that. And I noticed that when I went to Africa, and they was explaining that to me. And one of the guys was saying how they all stay in the house. They just keep building onto the house until you get married and you start your own family, and then you move and you get your own house. But as people get older, they get them another section of the house. They just build onto the house, and that's their house, and so on and so forth. I was like, wow. But over here, our American dream, man, when I turn 18, I'm gone. I'm out.
Right.
I'm out of here. Y'all work my nerves. I don't like y'all.
Right.
And all that good stuff. So it's hard for that togetherness has really depleted in American culture. So, but they're chasing that, and they're bringing that with their culture. And now they're able to, that's why you're able to see them own so many stores and so many properties. And we're wondering how we can't even get in America. It's out there for us. We're not taking advantage of it. Once again, we're either afraid, a little leery to doing it, afraid of that no, afraid of, whatever, and so on and so forth. But that's from within. But you got people that's not within coming in and they getting it. And we sitting there scratching our head like, how? So yeah, that, like I said, the money, the American dream is, I feel like it's there, but is it easy to obtain as an American? I don't think so.
Well, PR said in the comments, what is the American dream at this point?
Man, come on now. In this world, right? American dream is literally having a family. What they used to say, the house with the picket fence, your family, your family, your car, your job, a great career, and even if you can own a business, that used to be the American dream. Now it's like, man, the struggle is real. The struggle is real trying to get out there. Because it's almost seemed like when we was getting to the point of starting to obtain it, they moved the goalposts on what the American dream is.
Right. Right. So let's talk about a little bit of where our money beliefs come from. So again, our topic is men, because people that are coming in are asking men, women, and money, and how we're taught to view it. So that's what we're talking about. We talking about money, honey.
Money. Let's go. It's 12:30. Y'all, we're gonna pay some bills, pay some respect to all our comments down there. Also to all of our guests that's coming in. We appreciate y'all. Y'all more than welcome to come up on the panel if you want, to share your comments and your ideas or insights on what we're talking about today. We're talking about money, but of course, we're going to keep it on topic with that. We appreciate all the comments down there. We're going to hand it back over to Root True so we can pay some bills. Y'all know I just love to say that. Let's get into it.
Look, y'all, we really don't got no sponsors yet. Okay? But, that's one of the goals. That's one of the goals, but we're going to sponsor ourselves with this music right here. Sponsored by Apple Music. Okay? Money, power, respect, since we talking about money.
Let's go. Sponsored by Apple Music. I love it.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for coming in and participating in our conversation on money. We got Tiffany in the room, Key's family, that dude PR, Arlene, the King, Jazz and the Chaos, Mama 8.3. Thank you so much, y'all, and I appreciate the shares and the likes. 236.2.
Keep hunger and plan for the future because you figure you're gonna be older, way longer than you're gonna be younger.
Money, power, respect. This is the time for y'all to tap up the screens.
You said you'll be eating right.
This is your time to tap up the screens and get your friends in here, share it. Let them know we talking money, honey.
Only time to tell how the clock tick. I really love head, but I'm still a hostage. Two personalities, check the posture. Smoke out the mouth, hair out the nostril.
All right, y'all. So we're going to bring up a few prompts here, a few notes that I have here in regards to how men are taught to view money. We're going to talk about women later. Don't feel like we picking on you, men. All right. So some notes that I have here in regards to how men are taught to view money is they have to be that provider. So they got that pressure always on them to be that provider, to be successful, because in our eyes, in order, that makes them worthy because they're successful.
Yes.
Financial failure means they personally failed. So we look down on them. So that goes back to that provider pressure. Masculinity is tied to income as well. Like, oh, you ain't a man if you're not making enough, or you're not making, you don't make enough to be a provider at that point. So did you feel pressure to earn early on to abide by those things?
You know what? I didn't even look at it like that. I started working at 13. I looked at it. I wanted to have my own money. I wanted to have my own money and do what I wanted to do without asking, because every time I asked, it was a no. I ain't got it. You think money grow on trees? We got into sports, and this is the biggest thing that happened that really was an eye opener. Wanted to play baseball and even football, but I couldn't do it because my mom couldn't afford the gear. And you know, my mom was like, "They want you to play. They should pay for it." that was my mom. That was my mom's. I'm telling my mom, silly man, funny. But hey, when you think about it, you're like, "Oh shoot, why aren't they?" Right? But she was like, "They want you to play. They want you to play so bad. They can't pay for the stuff. I gotta go and pay for the stuff for them to want you." Right? And I was like, "Oh man." So couldn't do a lot of things, right? So I started working, you know, as soon as we can get a work permit, and at the age of 13, we can get work permits. So I was like, man, on top of that, not being able to get, you know, the things that I wanted going into, you know, they call it middle school now, but we call it junior high back then. You know, I wanted to, you know, got to be in the cool kids crowd. School was a fashion show. So it wasn't really, you know, about, because even coming up, my mom worked, you know, my dad worked, even though they wasn't together. They worked, but at the same time, they always had the same answer whenever it came to, hey, can you get this? I ain't got. Right. And so no, I didn't see that. And when I, as a kid, and then even going to an adult, I just was already set in my ways of being that hyper independent person. Hey, if nobody is going to get it, I'm gonna get it for myself. And to the point of, hey, you know, if I got to sit back and chill for a minute and not do some things, that's what I'm gonna do until I got the money, enough money to take care. But I did always have in my mind that, you know, men should be the ones providing, because I wanted to see more of that in real life versus what I saw it on TV. Because I saw it on TV. We was raised in a time when that was, you know, the Cosby Show and, you know, a lot of those shows, the father was in the house and he was that provider. But I can't say that I saw it, you know, in live, real life, so to say. But from a few friends when I saw their dads being like that, but it wasn't nothing to drive me as saying, hey, you gotta be the man, you gotta be masculine, those are things that I just, once I got up to and learned in life, like I said, either from watching TVs or seeing a little bit of it, I just like, hey, you know, that's the person that I want to be. I want to be a provider. I want to be the one that can take care of, you know, things and not lack, so to say, right? And I'm gonna do everything that needs to do, because it's so many things. A lot of people like to give up. Like I said, we as Americans, we'll give up. We'll, you know, want things to fall in our lap. No, I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna hustle. I'm gonna grind, and I'm gonna find a way to get to the money and get to the things. And I'm not gonna make an excuse to why I can't get to it. So that was just me. So I'm not sure everybody was like that, but that was just me coming up. It didn't have anything to do with masculinity, nothing to do with being, you know, the man of the house. Because hey, I was the man of the house, but I wasn't working. My mom just always would say that, you the man of the house. I was like, okay, man of the house. All I do is take out the trash.
Look, I really try not to say that to my son. I'm not saying I haven't said it to him, but I really try not to say that to him, because I feel like that's putting some unnecessary pressure on him. And he's 13, you know what I mean? And he still doesn't even quite understand what that means. So what I've transitioned to say to him when I, in my mind, want to say that, but don't say it out loud, is I'm trying to teach you for your future to be the man of your household when you get older.
Absolutely.
So this is what I'm trying to teach you. I'm not asking you to do these things around the house just because I want to be the big old bad mom.
That's good.
All right. So if anyone else in the
any
comment want to answer that question, do you feel pressure to earn early as a man? We're going to get to you women shortly.
Yeah, I didn't feel pressured to earn. I don't know, like I said, the pressure came for me to just want to be able to get my wants, so to say. I ain't gonna say, because my needs was taken care of, right? My own provider. I had a house, I had a roof over my head, I had lights, I had the water, I had food, you know, the necessities. But I wanted more for me, right? It was like, I see people have more. I'm like, man, they can get the J's. You know, why I can't get the J's? I'm like, do you got some J money? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You got some J's money? You got some ball money? You going to this store right here? And I like to where she got to the point where like, hey, this is what I'm gonna give you. And if you want to go to the bar, if you can find some in that price range, blah blah blah, do it. But when I got my job, I had the money to where now I can put with that, and now I can get exactly what I wanted. But I couldn't fault them because they took care of the basic needs. You can't get mad because your parents can only provide for you the basic needs, but at least they're giving you that, right? And then if you want to go out and get you a job and do more, that was on me. I wanted to do that. It wasn't no pressure for me to do it. I just wanted to do it. And it ended up driving me into that hustle mentality. I became that. I'll tell you what I say. I became that instant hustle mentality person. I was selling candy in school. Like that was my initial. That was my
I hear
initial.
that a
business
lot
right there.
from men that they sold candy in school.
That was my initial business, y'all. Like, everybody, what's your first business? My first business was going to the grocery store. I bought packs of Capri Sun, packs of the Jolly Rancher suckers, Snickers, M&Ms, and I will pack that in my book bag and I will sell out of my book bag because kids love snacks and they will buy me out before the end of the school day. Every day I was out buying more and more. And I was hustling. I was making extra money. So, and I was just like, oh man, this is cool. This is pretty dope. I was even selling to the teacher, y'all. I was like, man. Teacher's like, what is this for? You can't be selling on. I'm like, this is for the church. I was the church. But yeah, so that was just a mentality of mine. Like, hey, because I know my mom ain't got it and I'm tired of asking and getting that no, let me get my butt out here and get to doing some things myself. So yeah. You say you changed up on how you tell your son to introduce things to him. That's good. That's good. That's good. What's up, Red? What's good?
What's going on, Red? We talking about men, women, and money and how we're taught to view it. So we just asking the men some question. If there are some men in the comments and they want to come up and answer these questions, ladies, you're next. Ladies, you are next.
Yeah, and like I said, as I got older, I realized that I needed to come up and actually be that provider. Like when I was, like I said, been in the Army, that was my whole thing. Like I don't want to get in a relationship to where I can't. I'm gonna have to say, no, like I said, I don't like that word being told to me. So I didn't want to be that person to do that, especially if I was going to be building a family or in a relationship. I didn't want to. I wanted to be that person that, hey, I got it. Let's go and get it. And if I didn't have it, I'm going to get it so we can go and get it. If it's something that means something to you, if you really want it and you really got to have it. So yeah, like I said, growing up put me in that mode of mindset and of thinking. Now everybody doesn't go through that. Everybody, they sometimes in your household, they may have got onto you and said, you the man of the house and you got to do this and you got to do that. I didn't get that. I just know I wanted more than what I was receiving, even though I was receiving my necessities. So I'm never going to be mad at my mom for that because they did provide me the basics, which was needed. House, food, never went hungry, never went without a roof over my head, never went without, well, of course, we here a couple of times without water and lights. But hey, I think back in the day, everybody went through that. But even seeing that right there got me in the mindset that I don't want to go through that when I become an adult. And I'm not going to allow my family to go through that when I become an adult. So I can say it can push you, childhood things can push you to, if that's what you want to do too. Because some people fall right back into that same thing. Some people fall into that same lifestyle, even though they saw it and they didn't like it. They fell right back into that. They feel now their kids is going through without house to house evictions and blah, 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 and yakety smackety versus, okay, I went through this as a kid. It was a lesson that I learned, even though it wasn't a lesson for me to learn. I saw that I didn't like it. I didn't want to go through that. And guess what? Now I'm going to do my absolute damnness to not put any of my family from this moving forward through that. So, yeah.
Right.
So
All right. So do you feel that men are allowed to be broke and still be respected?
Ooh, No. I don't think men are allowed to be broke and still be respected. I think you can be respected. It is based on what are you doing if you are broke. Okay, so I'm gonna put it in this sense. Like I was telling you guys in other posts, like how my sister and my brother-in-law, they worked through a lot. I don't know if they would come in and pop in on here, but I got to see them. I got to see my sister and my brother-in-law's relationship flourish, even from a kid, and so I would see, if my brother-in-law went without a job or whatnot, but guess what? He was taking care and maintaining things around the house. He was, making sure the car was good. My sister had to go to work, but at the same time was still actively searching for a job. He wasn't just sitting back waiting for, a job to land in his lap or to do, but no, he was still out actively finding other jobs, even if he had to go out and help someone else. That is a difference from sitting around and doing nothing, absolutely nothing, while your wife or your fiance or your girlfriend is out here bringing in the bread, bringing in the money, bringing in the food, and you ain't even helping around the house. The house is still dirty. Food's not being cooked.
Oh, no.
So
I
that
don't agree with it either, but I heard they the ones with the good, the
no.
broke ones. Oh my God! All right, that's a whole.
And
nother
that's
topic.
what gets you in trouble right there. That's what gets you in trouble. Then
That's a whole nother
now
topic,
you
y'all.
stressed
That's a whole nother topic.
So where's the respect gonna come in? The respect, you respected that D, you ain't respected, you know what I'm saying? Are you really respecting the man, or are you just
Right,
respecting that D, right? So
right.
that's the whole thing is, are you, the thing is do we get the respect as men because we are broke and we're not making money? Do you think women will respect you? I don't think men will get that respect.
No, absolutely not. They don't get that respect because, like Red said, that's all that they have basically to offer.
You
Because
gotta
they
be
got
good at
nothing else to
something.
do. So after you done with that, and then you can't get up and go and pay a bill for me, yeah, I don't even want the D at that point. It ain't even good enough for me. But Mama in the comments had a question. She said, "Do you feel like it's okay, or is it too early to say learn how to do these things that will help you towards a certain career?" When it comes to, I guess, talking to her son.
Okay, wait a minute. Say it again. I missed it.
That's okay. Okay. She says, "Do you feel like it's okay, or is it too early to say to learn how to do these things that will help you towards a certain career?" Like basically telling your child, this is my interpretation of what she's asking. Telling your child, I'm teaching you this because this will help you in the future, or I'm guiding you this way towards this career or this schooling to assist you in your future.
I think you can teach them things, but ultimately you got to understand those kids, they're their own individual, right? And they're going to possibly, not going to say all the time, because like I said, once you teach someone, they come in habit, they might grow to like those things, right? So you got to look at both ways. So never going to say no, teach them. Yeah. Teach them things that will help them be successful in life. Teach them things to help them become better citizens and better providers or better people in their own home, cleaning, cooking, the necessity. I saw somebody post, post that, but also trying to find a career that's going to be, meant for them at an early age. I wouldn't say that, because they're going to grow and they're going to adapt and they're going to find things that they like and things that they don't like as they get older. I'm not going to say that that'll be a waste of time, but at the same time, would you want to be told, hey, you're going to be a nurse all your life, but then you grow up and your interests end up being in working on cars,
Right.
male or female, right? And now, because you like working with your hands, but nobody knew that because you was young, but they was trying to instill, you need to be a nurse, you need to do this, do this, do this. And that's not your passion. That's not what's your passion. You want to be able to do something that's going to, when you're working in a field, and I think you should make sure you're teaching that when you're working in the field and you're having fun with it, it's not a job to you, because it's what your passion is what you love to do.
Right.
And therefore, you're going to be able to do that without fail, and nothing's going to be able to disturb that because you absolutely love what you're doing. It's the people that are being told things and they're doing it for their parents, but you're really living your parents' dream. And that's
Right.
you see that in a lot of shows and things. They're like, I can't live for you, mom. I can't live for you, dad. You had your shot. It's my shot.
Right.
Right. And so, yeah, you got to but teach them the basics. Absolutely. Teach them the basics in life. Get them, involved in responsibility. Get them involved with house duties, and things and such like that. And getting them accustomed to doing things because it's only going to get more hectic, if not worse, when they do get out on their own, when they do
Right.
actually get to realize and get reality hit them head in the face when they want to be on their own as an adult. So it's on adults to teach them those things and get them prepared. Okay, you're preparing them. You're preparing them for life, but ultimately allowing them to find themselves at the
Right.
same time.
Absolutely. So if there's men in the comments and you guys want to come up, we're asking questions to men right now. Ladies, you are next.
I know, guys, y'all got me up here by myself, man. What's going on? Y'all know I love to talk, so I hold it down for us. Hopefully, I'm helping you guys out back down there, in the comments. No, I'm messing with you. I see PR. I see PR down there. And King, that's my boy right there. I see y'all down there. Thank y'all for coming.
He's up here. I'm gonna invite y'all. If y'all want to come up, then if you can, then go ahead. If not, decline it. Oh, my boy Ray Form is still here. Thank you for coming in. Welcome in. So we're talking about money, y'all. We're talking about men, women, and money, and how we're taught to view it. That's what we're talking about right now.
Hey, Ruth, really quickly too about what TJ was just saying, and we were talking about trying to prepare your kids and stuff for the future, and that I wanted to say something about that. When he used the example of like a nurse or something like that, I think those of us who have kids, nieces, nephews, just anybody that you're trying to help raise in what we think is the right way, we would like to push them towards certain professions that we know gonna be around.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You got to be able to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not against you doing what you want to do, but I don't really think that underwater basket weaving degree is going to get you anywhere. So you have to also be very realistic with your kids and with yourself about certain things. And sometimes they don't have the vision to see the potential that they have and the things that they can do. You might not like nursing per se right away. You might not want to go into that, but maybe your mom, dad, aunt, uncle, whoever the person is that has the influence over you feels that you might be good in maybe that field or another field, but it's something to where you can sustain your life.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be able to get up out this house and do something for yourself at
Because
some
you got
point.
to go.
Yeah, and all my kids still live with me. TJ, I tell you, my oldest is 24, but also everybody in my house works and everybody goes to school.
Right. Yeah. I didn't want my daughter to leave. She's
Yeah, so
25 and she's gone. But I would have been happy for her to stay here with no problem.
Yeah, there was no reason for me to try to necessarily just be like, oh, you finna turn 18, so you got to go. See, that's how people get messed up. Then they end up coming right back home because they was never prepared and don't have their shit together.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah. I went back home a few times. even with my daughter. Even married, I went back home. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was saying earlier. That's how it is in America versus, like I said, in other countries, they stick together and allow their kids to become fully, developed, also fully understanding in life, and before they actually move out on their own, and then they start that with their families. And now it's growing like
before you even say anything else about that, look at the structural household as opposed to the regular American household also.
Mm-hmm.
Their culture is different. They also raise their children to like, this is what we do. We are a family unit. We stay together. We stick together. Yeah. You gonna be a doctor. You gonna be a lawyer. You gonna be a so-and-so. And them kids don't budge on that shit.
Right.
See,
That's true.
American children are different from foreign kids. They different.
Right.
This lifestyle that we cultivated here in America is different than what they have in India or
Yeah.
what they have in China and what they have in Japan or what they have in wherever. See, if we really, really break this shit down and we start peeling these layers back, there is a huge disparity between what we do, what we as Americans teach them, and then what they teach their children also.
Yeah.
They
Absolutely.
don't get a whole bunch of pushback.
They don't
They
get.
don't
That's
get
what I
a
was about to
whole
say. They don't
bunch
get
of
a
I
whole lot
don't
of
want to do
pushback.
this and I don't want to do that and da da da. They don't get that.
They're more respectful of their elders and their culture
Very
and the
much
things
so.
that's going on.
It's that
very much so.
structure.
Yeah,
There's a
that structure
structure,
is totally different.
and they got no choice but to follow the rules.
Right.
So when you have you look at a family like that's for instance an Indian family, and like I said, they got these successful kids and these parents have worked hard. Not saying that we as Americans don't, but it is a different mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It's not I just want to be outside all the time doing this, or I'm worried about what's going on with this and this. No, Samir is busting his ass in school. That's why Samir make $200,000 a year.
And we over here working at Walmart.
That's it. It's different, man. It's different.
It's
So-
it's very much different. It's very much different. Like I said, different cultures. Like I said, even when they come in, I notice even when they get a business, when they get they're all working that family business. They are all
stay together.
in those. They're all in that restaurant working. They're all in that whatever it is that they got. They're all in there working and putting in their time in building whatever they need to build and going from there. And when they come over here now in other countries, because they probably don't have as much as access that we have with things, they're still grooming their kids to become the best person and the best that they can be to provide for the family and bring something to the family. So I do.
But it's from the grandmama on down.
Absolutely.
And that's real shit.
Yeah.
You had the grandmama, the mama, the daddy, the kids, the grandkids, whoever.
Come on. You good.
All of that. So that's, when you said about you might have a passion to do this or and things that you want to do outside of what your parents want you to do. Yeah, we all would like to do things that are fun and make it seem like it's not work. But we also have to look at the reality of the situation and be like, damn, it has to be a sacrifice somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything we do ain't finna be fun.
What's up, Key? What's good? All
Yeah.
right, fellas, we got a couple of minutes. We got to get the fellas y'all intake on it. What y'all got? Was y'all pressured at a young age? King, fine. We know you're at work, King.
I'll let King go first.
I mean, I didn't have no pressure growing up about it, but when I turned 13, like you said, I just seen my mama struggle a lot. So when I turned 13, I got a work permit and started working. So now I didn't have no pressure, but I did feel like since I was the only male and she was a single parent, I felt like I was like had to be like the man of the household.
Mm-hmm. I get it. Yeah, I can see that. That's an American thing, especially.
I've been working ever since. I ain't not been without a job. I'm always working.
There you go. There you go. That pressure can be there. What about you, Reform?
I'm kind of in the same boat like King then, because I wasn't pressured to none, but as my mother being a single parent and everything, I felt like I had to go out there and do what I had to do to get the money to help her out. But I wasn't pressured, but I did stay in school and everything also too, though.
Yeah, same here. I didn't do the thing I needed to help her out. I did myself out.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah, that too.
I ain't gonna even lie. It was things
that I wanted for myself that she couldn't afford to get it for me, so I wanted to, get my own thing from home.
Exactly. So you can't say that still was you helping her out, right? Because you instead of you constantly pressuring her and saying, "Hey, mom, why you can't do this for me?" and blah blah blah. Like, hey, I go out here and help. Whatever you can't help with, I got it, and I put it. That was my. That way you still was in the form of helping.
Yeah.
Right. So my next question is, PR, did you want to answer?
See, my household was hella different.
I said black and brown is different. It's a whole
Like,
different.
cause my mom, cause again, it was 4 of us in the house, right? And it's a single mama. And as much as we wanted to help financially, it just wasn't a thing to let us get a job, cause she had 2 jobs and going to school for most of my my middle school, high school time. And so me or my sisters trying to get a job was almost impossible. So it was more like, especially like Christmas and birthdays, if we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. I knew at some point we would get whatever we wanted, but it was never going to be when we wanted it. And so I always grew up like, hey, don't be out here just spending your money. I've been frugal all my life because that's just the way I saw my mom do things. And it's just, I don't like spending money because it's like, I don't know. I just had that mindset like when people want to spend money, I mean, like, save your money. It's not worth it spending it on me. Yeah. Like, go spend it on somebody else. And that's just how I grew up. My mom just was frugal. Now, at her old age and retired, she traveling like ain't nobody business. But again, she ain't got no kids in the house, and she retired.
That's what she says. That's what she's supposed to do at this time.
I ain't mad at it. But while we was young, she was tucked in and just taking care of business. So that's what I'm doing.
The dynamic of being a empty nester or having big kids is totally different from when you're actually like raising them and they small.
Absolutely.
It's totally different.
Yeah. Right. And see, I don't have kids, but like I said, when it comes to the dynamics of what we do as in our culture, like I said, it's, every culture is different. And from what I've seen in travels, right? But of course, I raised my niece and nephew, so they of course they got to travel with me a lot based on where I was stationed at, and they got to see different. But when I travel now and I see other cultures with their kids out, I sometimes asking and question myself, what made us not want to do that with our kids? And so we can get the experiences in life, or we can see other things and be able to grow and get an understanding of how big this world is, but at the same time learning. But we don't, we it's just a different culture, and it's totally however you want to raise your kids and do things. I just say you don't, even though you having kids, small kids, you can still, if you're setting yourself up perfectly, you're setting yourself up right, and you're growing in life with money, knowing what you know now. And I can't say it happened big back then because, like I said, the struggle was real. But it's all based on, okay, where you saw, did you sit in that, or did you grow from that? Did you try to learn and say, hey, because we always go, I don't want my kids to have what I didn't have. I want my kids to have more than what I had. So when we go into more, it's more as in technology, it's more as in shoes, clothes, but it's not more into learning life and money and the success and responsibility and things and such like that. Not saying everybody, I'm just saying more in our culture is not being a thing. It is more of, the more is technology, money, or, we got to have this big car and this is black, blah, 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 versus experiences. It's, versus, hey, we packing up and we rolling out. We back, just like me and King, we got a friend, Platinum. Her daughter, little, little kid. I'm going to show my daughter this. I'm going to take my daughter here. We about to do this, and we better go and do this. And, no matter the age or anything like that, but they're starting to see. But I saw that more in other cultures. I would go places like, man, why they got their kids here, and things such like that. But then I started realizing their kids is being cultured. Their kids are learning things. And
I do that, TJ. I take my son with me everywhere. The first time I went to Vegas, it was with both of my kids. And my coworkers were like, that's no fun. Why are you bringing your kids? And I was like, you may not love your kids enough, but my kids are going to go everywhere with me, experience everything. We had the best time. And they have a kids hotel out there, Circus. And that's where we stayed for the first time. They even have an amusement park in there.
And I'm trying to build core memories with my kid.
Right. When I went to Jamaica last year for my birthday, I brought my son. Like, he's already been to Jamaica twice. Brought him to Puerto Rico. I bring him on any flight with me. I don't care. Because they need to learn
also. Colorado for Christmas this year. She said, just me and you, Daddy. You ain't got to invite nobody else.
And then I promise
Right.
you, other kids gonna be there. And
See,
it's
but this
crazy
is
that
the
it's most
thing
of
though,
the
because
time it's
in
gonna be other
the
kids of other cultures, but it's gonna be other kids there, and you're basically, because the thing is, the same way you're doing when they're at home as a parent, and you're teaching them, and they're going out and they're experiencing in their neighborhoods or their city. It's no different from being out there, because you are the parent. Yeah, you ain't having the best of your best life, but you can, and your kids can at the same time. And then as they grow and become adults, now you really can go out and experience those places. Yeah, you done went there. You probably didn't get to go and kick it like single people are kicking it, but your kids got to have a good time. That's enough to fulfill you as well. Now you really can go out there and throw down and show out and get your groove back. but
but listen though,
it's
to
1
think
o'clock,
about the
y'all.
collective, to think about the collective here, back then in the 80s and the 90s, a lot of the things was not possible for us of what how we can raise our kids now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you the same thing. When somebody was saying, and this is a little off topic, but stay with me. Somebody was saying something about BBL culture, and they was like, "Oh, black women this, black women that." I said, "Y'all do know that the BBL culture did not originate here, right?"
Right.
That's why it's called a Brazilian butt lift.
Right.
It originated in Brazil in the 60s.
Right.
Okay, so stay with me with this cosmetic surgery shit. Who the fuck in the 80s and in the 90s was getting cosmetic surgery?
The
It was white women.
capacities.
Yeah.
It was
All
white.
the all
It
the people
wasn't.
that had money.
It wasn't. So that's how I equate that also to travel.
Yeah.
Back then, you didn't have the money or the means to go and do it. If you can barely keep your goddamn lights on, and we can barely keep the heat on,
Absolutely. That's
ain't
what I was
nobody
saying.
thinking
When you
about
come
going to
into
Jamaica.
now, when you
Yeah,
come to
no,
this,
no, no,
so
no.
now
Yes,
what you
yes, yes.
learn.
I'm agreeing with you about the struggle being real, but I'm saying when we look at how we've evolved
Mhm.
to be able to do these things now, which is a wonderful thing. So I'm in agreement with you. But why
Mhm.
we growing up, some of us didn't have certain core travel memories is because we couldn't damn do it.
Right.
Right.
We just couldn't do it. And everybody can do it now because you got Klarna and all of these ways to be able to not
Up,
have to pay for your shit up front. Back
uplift.
then, you had to pay that shit right then.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't no let's extend this for 24 months and 36 months and all of this stuff for you to pay that. But that shit wasn't popping in.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. It wasn't back then. I'm saying
People
when
couldn't get
we
approved
didn't
for
get
credit
back
cards
then. I'm
and
talking about
loans and
where you're
lines
at
of
now.
credit and all of that stuff. No, I know. But when we talk about how we've evolved, that's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
So I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is that our children, our nieces, our nephews, whoever those little people are that are important to us, why you can start them out early now is because of the
Because
positions that we're in
we're
now.
here now. Mhm.
Why
Exactly.
we were not able to start out early then is because of those things that I
Because of
just
those
named.
things. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm saying as we grow, also just knowing that as we've grown and what happens is that we want to give more, but we're not giving the more in like experiences, then we're giving more in things. As you said, like now, because I'm looking at it now, you're saying with the BBLs and things, that was something that was rich folks was doing. Now, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
We doing it now.
Payment
Now
plan.
anybody can get it
And
now.
you can do payment plan.
Anybody can get it now. Anybody
Everybody
can
can
get
get it
it.
now.
But
Exactly.
those things, just like travel, just like cosmetic surgery, even just like education, and so many other things that we can talk about were not readily accessible to us
Mhm.
because we did not have the means.
Yeah, we did it.
It just was what it was.
Right.
But it's just making sure you know now that you are there because the means is there. Are you trying to cultivate a different culture now, or are you staying in that same zone of what we did and having the have-nots?
I think a lot of people are.
Yeah.
because they can now. I think a lot of people are, and the more that even we look at videos on TikTok or whatever social media platform or friends and all of this stuff, shit, I know just growing up in a military family and being in the military myself is how I did my travel.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way that I was able to move around the way that I moved around.
That's some big facts.
So that is what that is. I was able to see the world because I was a army brat as a child. That's how I went to high school in Germany and did all of these things in Europe and across Europe And then when I joined the Navy when I was 17 and I graduated high school, that's the way I still continued to see the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it was what it was.
Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in, rap form. Let's go. All right, 1 o'clock. We're gonna get on the ladies here in a minute. We're gonna pay some bills and we're gonna no, just kidding. Go ahead. And we're gonna keep it going. We'll find out what y'all ladies got to say about money. Let's go.
I do have one last question for you, man.
Go ahead.
How does money affect male confidence?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I would say it affects their confidence a lot because
I mean,
a lot of people feel some kind of way when they ain't got money when they broke. You feel totally different than when you do when you got money in your pocket.
Do you think a man without money is treated like he doesn't have any value?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Via society, absolutely. Society.
Are they? Do they feel powerless?
I
Like
think
they don't
so.
care about being poor, but they feel powerless.
Absolutely.
Not
I
having
think so. Like, okay, I'm just gonna be real transparent. Like, I think there's two levels of broke in society, right? You can have money and all that, like, but I feel like if I only got, let's say, $500 in my bank, right? Because I'm on a fixed income. All my bills is paid. I got groceries. I'm able to sustain for the rest of the month. I got like $500-$600 left in the bank. I might not be rich, but my bills is paid. I'm at peace mentally.
right.
That's
That's important.
I'm like that. I'm like, you're not rich, but you're not broke. But like, if you broke and you ain't paying your bills, and you got to figure out which bill you got to pay and extend the other one, I can't function with that.
Right.
Yeah, I think society, but I'm thinking society when it will come to that, and not all women, right? Not all women, not all men may think this, but I'm just saying for the majority part, because of society, how technology, what you're seeing on social media, what people think you supposed to have in order for you to be considered this and that, right? They probably be like, oh man, you on a fixed income. You ain't my type. I need you to be making this amount of money. I need you to be making this amount of money. It just seems like I said, the goalposts
That's that ridiculous
as we're getting
expectations.
older. Back in the day, the goalposts were probably at 30K. Now it's at 50K. Now it's at, and it's going to none. You got to have at least over 6 figures for you to talk to me and blah, blah, blah. So it can be a pressure, but it's all depending on you as the guy, how you are accepting that pressure.
I just seen a girl say that she only dates people that, one, make at a minimum $500,000 a year, and their house value has to be at a minimum $5 million before she even decides to talk or date somebody. Ho, you staying single.
And it's people that are out there like that. That's why I say how you gonna ask somebody else to
And you ain't
have
got
something
nothing.
that you don't got, right? But it's people that are out there. They're being groomed as kids to be that person because they're seeing it from their parents or they're seeing it from these shows and all of that. And so they're
Like Ruth say,
they're feeling like that.
throw her over the roof.
But can that put a pressure on a man? It can put a pressure on a weak-minded man. That's what I'm going to answer. It can put that pressure on a weak-minded man who's going to be like, oh yeah, I got to have this in order for me to be liked versus like VR said, I'm happy. I'm good. I got a roof over my head. My bills are paid. Yeah, if I only got $50 left to my name after all my bills is paid, I'm okay with that. If I only got $500 left to my name, I'm okay with that. If you're not okay with that, go on about your business.
Listen, we're not meant to be together.
Do it, but you got a lot of people that are actually try to put that pressure on you and try to make you feel like you less than a man because you don't. So, but like I said, they have to find those guys exist. Those guys exist out there that can have those $1,000, $1 million houses and things and such and can provide and that's all. But you just gotta think the man have to have that confidence within themselves to be okay when society is trying to put that pressure on. But it happens.
They're not gonna stress me out.
There you go.
That part.
There you go. I ain't gonna stress me out either, PR with you. That's crazy.
That part. All right, y'all. We're gonna play the song of the day since we talk about money here. We talking about money, honey. All right, y'all. Peace, family in the building. Arlene in the building. The king that do PR. Red Freckles, Jazz in the Chaos. Thank y'all so much for tapping it up, for sharing, for commenting, participating in the conversation. We talking money. Hail Mary. Now's the time to share. Tap the screen. Get your friends to participate. Get them friends in here that you know ain't doing right with their money. Get them in here. Let's talk. Money, power, respect. Ladies, it's our turn. It's our turn, ladies. If you want to come up on the panel to discuss, now's your time. Thank you, everybody that has provided gifts to the panel. We appreciate it. So we just got finished talking how men are taught to view money. We're going to talk about how women are taught to view money. All right. When it comes to women, we are taught to view money as security versus independence, being provided for versus being self-made, money versus femininity, fear of being too much. So we got some questions here for the ladies. What's up, Rel? Welcome in. Welcome in. So if you want to answer these questions, you're more than welcome to come up, or you can just put them in the comments and we will read your comments out loud. So my first question for you ladies, are women shamed for wanting stability?
Yes.
What up, real?
Absolutely. I feel like that's one of the biggest double standards in dating right now.
I think definitely it's one of the biggest double standards in dating, and I feel like it's like we always get told, "Oh, this not working out for you because you chose wrong, or because of you or your own stuff or whatever." Which it could be your own stuff got going on or how you manage or whatever. But I feel like at the same time, at the end of the day, what's wrong with us wanting better or having standards? You guys want better. You want to upgrade. You want better. Why can't we want better? Why can't we want to upgrade? Why can't we want stability in the household or within those realms? I mean, I don't know. I don't understand.
Right. No, I absolutely agree, because we're told as women, like, don't depend on a man.
I said, who the hell over there working on a truck?
King?
Are you changing out a fucking alternator? What is going on?
I'm sorry, I thought I muted it. I'm waiting for my Uber.
Good.
I'm at the gym. Autumn opening and shutting the door.
So who over there working on the truck? Yeah, you always come with some random stuff.
That's what it sounds like.
No, I totally get what Key was saying, because, as women, we're told to not depend on a man, but also don't be a gold digger. Also, like, why you choosing love over security, or a woman wanting financial peace is seen as, she want to be taken care of. So it's like it's a total double standard. But then also, we're not supposed to be gold diggers, so we can't ask for nothing. But then men are supposed to be providers.
They like to be needed. Yeah, right. Men providers. They like to be needed. All this and that. Then you ask, then it's like, dang, like, it's a problem sometimes for some people.
It's almost like a double.
Like, that's weird.
It's like a double-edged sword, so to say.
Right.
It's like, dang, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And society doesn't make it any better, because they saying, because you're getting these songs out here and, it's hyping this up. Don't want no scrubs, and then don't be a gold digger. Then, it's just like a back and forth thing. We've seen it with songs. It's like, it's always an answer. If a woman come out with a song, then here's the man with an answer. If a man come out with a song, then here come a woman with an answer, right? And it's gonna always be that.
Right. It's always gonna be like that.
I think
all it is I feel like I feel like us women just don't want to ever have to struggle, because if we could struggle with a man, we might as well just struggle by ourselves. We just want that security. It's not that we're greedy. We just trying to survive.
See, this is a good point. Let's dabble into survival really quickly, because there's a difference between living and surviving.
Right. Absolutely.
And I was taught that at a very young age by my daddy. I've already survived a certain part of my life, so I've been living for a long time now.
Right.
I don't ever want to survive again,
Exactly.
because that is when you are put in a position to where you do things that you don't want to do to either make ends meet, or you're very stressed, or you are very irritated, you're very tired, you are working a lot, you are running around like a chicken with your head cut off, and then whatever else may come along with that predicated on the person. Being in survival mode is insane,
Right.
and it can drive you insane.
Right. Right. No, absolutely.
So yeah, like that's just real talk. It's just like when you break down whatever the differentiation between your wants and your needs. Two totally different things. So when we talk about relationships and we talk about women and men and all of this other shit, people, when they get together, need to discuss what works best for them.
Absolutely, because
Because
there's going to be someone that agrees with what works best for you, and they're going to want to, get on board with that. And everybody
you gotta
not going to get on board with that, but there is someone that will.
Yeah, in the event you got a man, I don't give a shit what y'all doing. You don't give a shit what I'm doing. I don't care what nobody. As long as you're happy and you're safe and whatever it is, your needs are being met, that's cool. But your relationship is not going to look like mine.
Right.
TJ's relationship ain't going to look like whoever's and anybody that's on here. So when people stop trying to chase what they see, that's when people will be able to have the relationship that is supposed to be cultivated.
Right. For them.
For exactly.
them.
Absolutely.
For them. Everybody's too much worried about what the hell everybody else got going on.
Being alike, because we're not a alike society. That'll be what that movie called. Everybody's the same, doing the same things. That don't exist.
Yeah, no, because all of this, when I see people online that see, famous people and relationship goals, you don't know these fucking people.
Right. You don't even know what goes on behind closed doors.
And then the fact that you have goals based off of what you see on social media.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know what the hell is
You
wrong
ain't
with
never
y'all.
met these people a day in your life.
Damn people.
Right.
What?
We had that topic already versus social media versus real life. That was one of our topics. I think our second
These
week.
damn people. What the hell wrong with that?
I want to have goals with people that I've met in real life, and I can see the tangible evidence that they live in the good life.
And their money. Like I said,
Like-
you gotta get the money too.
These people you see on TikTok and Facebook, you ain't probably never gonna see them a day in your life. What do you know what they doing
Probably
outside that
you are
screen?
9 times out of
Right.
10, you not, especially if they like a heavy influencer.
And you don't know what
you're not
what
gonna see
happens
these
in their
fucking
life
people.
when they off the phone, when they not on the screen doing these content and these
Right.
skits.
As soon as she hits end on the live, she probably getting her head knocked in between the washer and the dryer.
And not the way that she wanted it to be.
That went
Not the
left
way that she
fast.
wanted to be either.
Right.
She ain't lying.
Oh,
Not
Lord.
the way she wanted to be.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to tell. That's real talk. So the
is real
problem
talk.
is
It is, though.
everybody looking at, I want to be like this person. No, you need to figure out who the hell you are.
How about you
and
just
what
be you?
want based off of you.
For real.
Not what I see Denzel and his wife do. Not what I see Cardi and Stefan do. Not what I see whoever do.
Because I sure as hell
care
don't
about
want to do
that.
what Will and Jada do.
Two different wallets.
I don't give a shit
Two
about none
different
of
bank
these people.
accounts. Two different sets of bank accounts. Two different.
Listen,
like they said, that people say
their
they
way
have
of living
rich
is way
folks
different
problems.
than mine.
Exactly. They can have rich folks problems. Those rich folks ain't having those poor folks problems, right? They say we poor is just that we're not in the same.
We in a
bracket.
different tax bracket.
Exactly.
You
We're not
either
in the
want to
same
cry in the
bracket.
Porsche
Yeah.
or you want to cry in the Mazda.
All right.
Listen, all I can do is afford the Mazda.
So and that's okay. But
It's
as
okay.
women, since we're talking about certain topics of women too, you have to understand that the more quote unquote money this man has, the better he looks too, the more powerful he is, and the position that he holds, he's always gonna have women. So are you going to be willing to deal with a man that can provide for you financially with all of these needs, and you don't want nothing there, but then you missing time, you could be missing love, you could be missing attention. But then you got Joe Schmo over here that works this regular 9-to-5 job. It ain't nothing wrong with that, because that is the majority of the population,
Right.
which is what
Listen.
I don't think people also realize. That is the majority of the population. The majority of the population is not rich and wealthy.
Right.
Like it's a 1% for most of what these women want. The percentage of you actually getting that man is very slim to none. You want this man making over 6 figures. He got to be 6'1" and up. Can't have no kids. Have this car. Have this house. Live in this neighborhood. But what's the chances of you finding that man in the middle of the city where you live at?
It's
Not only
okay.
that, what are
don't do
the
that
chances
PR.
of that man wanting
Say
you?
no.
And then again,
True.
what are you doing to attract that man to give you all those things?
It's okay for you to want nice things. It's okay for
Right.
you to
You got to
want
be
to
realistic.
live a better life.
You gotta be
That's
realistic.
okay.
But don't live in La La Land.
There's also a way to go about it at the end of the day.
Being
There's
realistic.
also a way to go about it. And I just feel
Realistic.
like when we got social media and we got certain, because let's be honest here, we've always had movies that can and videos, even when videos started popping, whether it was rap videos, rock videos, pop videos, it always showed a different side of life. Whether now, if you was listening to like an NWA video or some rap shit 9 times out of 10 before rap really blew up, it wasn't the glamorization of money, because these cats was coming up and they was trying to get put on. A lot of these videos was done in their neighborhoods. Nobody wanted to go and stay where the hell they was at. Not for real if you knew better, because
Right.
you was already there half the time.
Right.
That was your situation. But when you started to look at the cars and the money and the chains and the women and the dudes and all of this other stuff, it was
Glamorized it.
glamorized very quickly.
Absolutely.
But then social media gave you a chance to quote unquote reach out and touch these people. We can go on live right now and have a whole conversation with
The celebrity.
whoever,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
with whoever.
Yep.
You can do that. So now you feel like y'all the same. That's the problem.
And
You
the
feel
crazy-
like you the same because you can
And the
hop
crazy thing
on.
is, what we did, we forgot that they are human beings too. It's just like I said, the tax bracket,
They people.
the money that they're making is totally different from ours. But then we don't even know what they're making, because now when you starting to hear about them, now that everything is coming out, a lot of them wasn't even making that. When they wasn't filming a movie, they wasn't getting paid. They was on the struggle bus, you know. And so we're learning a lot, but you don't see that part. You only see the glamorized part, and that's what you want. And that's what I said. What PR says is a very small percentage, but you gotta let go a lot of that false sense of, I say, sense of security, or a sense of this is what I want. You got to be realistic.
And it's not so much that you're settling.
Be
You
realistic.
just got your standards. Just got to just get tweaked a little bit, or expectations, not standards, but expectations of
Come down to earth, basically.
like. Listen, I understand what you want, but let's be realistic. What you can get, like where you're at, what you're doing. Now, if you over here living in LA and you bumming it out and think you're gonna find some millionaire that's gonna scoop you up, again, you better offer something that's gonna get that man to scoop you up.
Yep. All right, King.
Somebody might help me or hate me when I say this, but I feel like the average everyday person got too much access to celebrity and wealthy people shit. Meaning looking at these people and thinking that you can have the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's
Listen.
just not, it's not realistic. I feel like the average person, I'm not talking about the people like us that's got like common sense.
Right.
Like, because we'll see it and we don't give a shit. We'll see it and we don't care. But the average person,
The Hard
especially
Truth
the
Podcast.
generation that is raised behind us and the ones after, they have no grasp on real life.
Reality. Yep. On
They
reality.
have no grasp on it. I
They
feel
have
like
a reality that's not even on this timeline.
it's too much. It's too and when you are giving people too much at a time. They are overstimulated, they are overwhelmed,
Yeah.
and it's too much. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. She went and bought this, I gotta go and get that. I gotta apply for this loan, I gotta get this credit card, I gotta go on this trip, I gotta
The
you really
trends. The
gotta
Hey,
trends.
y'all, I got not to interrupt, but I got to go handle some things with the kid real quick. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
All
Appreciate
right, be
you
good,
coming
PR.
up.
Take it easy.
We got Key up here. Where Arlene at? Arlene ain't coming up. But yeah, you're right. The actual thought process from reality now is because reality TV is making everything reality for people. A lot of
But
people.
I also feel like you can make anything your reality. Maybe that's the dreamer in me, whatever you want to call it. I feel like you can work towards things and make stuff your reality too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
but it depends on what you're talking about, though. It depends on what you're talking about. Half these people ain't even got the talent to do the shit that they see these celebrities doing. You're
That
not gonna
part,
put in the time.
the talent
You're not
part,
gonna
yeah.
put in the effort. You're not gonna put in the work. You're not gonna want to sacrifice it. You're not gonna put in the struggle. Let's just be real here.
Yeah, but what
Yeah, I
they're
mean
doing,
just
but what
in
they're
general,
doing is
without
creating
the
I ain't
other
gonna
part,
say a
celebrity
bootleg
part.
version. Yeah, I'm not gonna say a bootleg version, but they're creating their reality version of that. And that's what a lot of them end up doing. They create their version of what it is. And so yeah, but like I said, but when it comes to money, like I said, the bracket, because like I said, we're gonna get back on topic. The money is what really is going to be the thing that's going to drive people to, like I said, might drive women to want it more because hey, the women feel like, hey, man, gotta have this, gotta have this. It's gonna drive the man to want it more because he feel like I gotta have this to get this certain kind of woman, or and certain things and stuff like that. But that money can definitely drive all of that within us as adults, and even now as kids, because kids are seeing it on the reality TVs and they feel like, Mama, why I born into this household when you ain't got what we should be here and we should be that, because they feel like the trend is pushing more towards that.
Money is always the motivator of damn near all things.
Yep, absolutely.
Whether you are a woman or a man, it's just how you go about to get it.
Yep. Money, power, respect. As you said, the key to life. What's next, Rob? What you
What's the
got?
other question, Ru?
Are successful women judged differently?
Yes. Yes, we are. And I
Because
am a successful woman, so I'm gonna absolutely say yes, we are.
right. Yeah, because successful men, they're called driven, ambitious. Oh, he's a good provider. But then when a woman's successful, we're intimidating.
And she's selfish.
We hard to deal with.
All
Oh,
of those things.
she just too much.
Every negative adjective that you can think of. That is what we are. Yes.
Right. Because men, they allowed to grow in that success and that power that they have now. And women, we're expected to belittle ourselves,
That's right.
shrink,
Yep. You're supposed to be made
to
small and
stay
you're not supposed to
feminine,
be seen
to stay
and all that other
feminine
shit.
and likable and lovable. How about I don't want to be liked? Okay.
You want us to play the background.
Right.
I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. TJ will
Right.
tell you firsthand.
And then, a man with money, they seen as being, they attractive because they got money. And he could be not the prettiest crayon in the box. And he's attractive because he got some kashish. Okay? But a woman with money, we hard. You can never please her. She got her own money.
You know how many times I've been told when I've been out here dating that I think I'm a man?
I've been told that plenty of
want to be a
times.
man? The men don't even want to be men. Why would I want to be one?
Right?
The hell is wrong with y'all?
Yeah, part.
You know
Wait a
what? How
damn minute.
about
I'm glad to be a damn man. What you mean?
TJ,
look.
I'm not talking about you.
I know I'm messing with you. I just want to come in and doggone say something.
Yeah, it's a select few that they don't want to be.
They don't want to do the. They don't want to have the responsibilities that feel like that a man has put on them, or society has put on them. So yeah.
I told the dude the other day, like, shouldn't you be changing a tire? Shouldn't you be building a fucking house?
You know what? That drives me nuts.
Do you know how to put up a ceiling fan?
When I meet,
like, what are we doing?
Yeah, when I meet men, and it's not just to be, so stereotypical that just only men should know how to change tires and stuff. Because of course, I learned how to change tires by my mom. So, but I became in that more mechanical realm person. I like fixing things.
Yeah, go put together a dining room table and get out my face.
Right.
Because that's men shit. The same way that you might want me to go cook something.
It's
And I ain't
just,
tripping.
it's just
Exactly. I hate when men ask that shit. Can you cook? Can you build a house?
Like, what are we talking about right now? Thank you, Ruth. What are we talking about?
Why you had to hit her with a building a house? It was
That's
just
what I'm
cooking.
saying. You going to go build a fucking house? Like, what are we doing?
But
Can you go change my damn oil in my car?
nonetheless, I mean, you went to a whole house, cooking to a whole house. I could get the oil changing, or can you fix something? Can you hang something? Can you repair the roof?
Ruth, bring this new refrigerator in.
There you go. There you go.
Do something. Like, I don't like a feminine man gets on my nerves. That may be for another day, but I don't like soft dudes. I don't like soft dudes. Do I think
Now,
that
you don't like soft dudes, or you don't like the things that they say?
That I don't like what they say, what they do, or I don't
Well,
like
she said she don't like what they can't do.
that too. Like, it can only be one bad bitch in a relationship. And I will die on that hill. That's me.
Right.
The woman in the relationship is the woman and you're the man. And like I said, I still feel like today.
I just feel like you should match each other. Y'all should match each other's fly.
Are there things that are interchangeable? Yes, but I still feel like men and women have roles in a relationship. I don't care what nobody say. That's just how I feel.
Absolutely.
Because when you start getting too much of this on one side and too much of that on the other side or whatever, that for me, that don't work.
Mm-hmm.
You taking longer than I do to get ready. Oh, hell no, sir. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You are wanting to be in the front. You are wanting to be the center of the relationship. Like, sir, what do we wear the same dress size?
Do you want to try my heels?
Yeah,
I'm not with y'all.
I can't support it. Do you need your lipstick? Because that color looks great on you. I'm not with it. And I'll debate anybody on it all day. It's just where I'm at. It's where I've always been. Mm-hmm. Roles are heavy, man. That's just how I feel. I think everybody needs to play their part.
Yeah, everybody, and that's 100%. Play your position, play your part.
Yeah, if I'm playing your part and mine, then what the hell? What are we doing?
Why am I even considering you?
Why am I even considering you?
There's so many.
I will stay by myself. And this is why I've heard so many times people in my ear, oh, he's a good guy. You should move in with him. Oh, he's a good guy. No. If I could do this all by myself, why do just because he's a good guy, I got to move in with somebody? Like, get out of here. Please. For what? For us to move in together and then he's intimidated because I make more than him? Get out of here.
Or because you're gonna stand your ground on the things that you believe in, and you're gonna voice your opinion, and he ain't gonna like that, and it's gonna be what it is. I notice that some men will sit up here and say all kinds of things to you, and just think that you ain't gonna say nothing back.
You ain't gonna respond.
Because if I could knock your ass out, I probably would.
Right.
So it's better that I say something to you than to hit you in the head with this pan. So, and they just be acting like they feeling so hurt, and they'll be the started it.
The hard truths, absolutely.
You started the whole altercation, and TJ knows this. Even with me, I don't even got to be dating these dudes, and y'all, they just be coming to me saying all types of stuff, and I just be like, "Are y'all on bath salts?"
Because like I said, most of the time men just, how they are, and wired mentally, right? Most of the times. And here's the thing, y'all, it's a lot of things is because of society, because you want to fit in, you want to, and you get groomed like that. Y'all don't understand the pressures of being a young man growing. Like I said, as y'all are women, y'all can have y'all tomboyish phase. Y'all can have y'all, y'all can, have your you know what I'm saying, prissy girl phase. Y'all can whatever, right? With guys, we're being taken and groomed. Hey, this, most of the times, I'm telling you, you're being groomed on this is how you should be talking to a woman, or this is what you're seeing them around and how they are talking to women. Is it correct? Absolutely not. Do I feel like it is? Absolutely not. But that's a lot of things that happens as a kid coming up. So guess what? That carries on. So because they feel like that's part of being a man is talking to women any kind of way, treating them like they're objects, or trying to press on to them what they feel like they should be doing versus allowing them to be who they are. But then now their feelings is getting hurt when the woman is not taking that and it's coming back at you. And now your feelings is hurt, and now you want to be all upset. Like we've seen it in society so much. A woman tell a man no. Why is he walking? I'm good. Or let me get your number. I'm good. I'm good. Now the girl end up dead because she told him no.
Like
Things and
rejection
such
is a
like
part
that.
of life.
It's crazy.
Rejection is a part of life.
Yeah.
Get over yourself.
Yeah.
Rejection is a part of life. It
But like I
happens.
said, it's the pressures. It's the pressures that men have being a man from standpoint of wanting to have money, the reality of society, and then how they are around other men that are doing that misogynistic, things and such like that, to where now that is a problem too, right? And so it's almost like I said, it's hard on both sides of the spectrum, when it comes to being a person. You got to just, once again, be your own person, be able to have a strong mindset, not too keen on getting influenced by anybody. But if you get influenced, taking the influences to make you a better person. But you'll have men want to go out here and they're being misogynistic. You got the women that like those misogynistic men, but you got most of those men going after women that don't like that. Then you got the men that is doing certain things and women like that, but most of those men is going after the women that don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's never like, hey, here's your tribe over here, find your tribe. This is your tribe over here. This is your tribe, find your tribe over here, until you grow and you mature, and then you'll realize the things that you was doing was not that. But don't be mad when you get checked on that. And that's a lot of guys would do. We'll get checked and then we'll feel our feelings is all hurt because we'll get checked because you tried the right person on the right day.
But the women
been
are the
over there
emotional
butt hurt
creatures.
because what?
But the women are the ones that can't handle their emotions.
Exactly.
We ain't the ones
that was
that's
another
out
thing.
here
Yeah.
unaliving people and
Yeah.
taking them out because
That was another thing.
somebody told us no, man.
But that's
What's the next
rejection.
question, Ruth?
Right.
That's rejection. When you hear
That's your
somebody
ego
say
bruised.
and say women can't handle it, women are emotional, I used to hate that. I'm like, what do you mean? I feel like men are more emotional. I do, and I'm a man. I feel like we are more emotional because we can't handle rejection. We are the ones jumping off the roof. We're the ones, can't handle our liquor and want to fight. We're the ones that, that thing is taking upon ourselves to put our hand on people. So how's that saying that? How many women you're seeing just doing that off the rip? Now they're emotional, will they cry? If this right here is not going because the stress is getting to them. But how many of them are crying and then now they blowing up their whole classroom? How many are crying and now they blowing up their whole house because they had so much pressure?
It ain't no women
not
out
seeing
there
that.
doing that.
Right,
It's
exactly.
not no women out there doing that. And
Exactly.
they a lot of times men in society period equates like what you just said, women being emotional because of their feelings.
Their feelings.
Because they may have
Yes.
cried or they may have been sad or they may start yelling about something when they feel like you're not listening or whatever. But somebody crying and somebody yelling is absolutely different from what you just said about literally taking people out and physically harming people and all of these other things. So
L.
yeah. What's the next question, Ruth? What we got?
Because
I know
our time is flying, but we
What's
have some
the
good
next one?
conversations though. But
Right. Oh my gosh. Welcome in, L. Welcome in, Miss Kiki. We're talking money here, guys. So we have a question for the ladies. If you want to come up to answer and participate in the conversation, we got about 15 minutes left. And our last question for our ladies is: financial independence encouraged or punished?
Both.
Both. I think it's both ends. How do y'all feel down there? Miss Kiki, I met Miss Kiki. And that's one of my good friends. We know each other for a week almost now. But Miss Kiki, how you feel about that? Do you feel like y'all are punished, or is a good thing for y'all to be financially independent? I think it's a good thing, but I think y'all do get punished for it, and they try to say that you're acting like a man.
I was just about to say that because
They
on the
think,
surface it's encouraged, but in reality it's often punished.
yeah.
Because
I was
society
raised.
tells us women, oh, get your own. But then when we actually do, we masculine. We difficult, uncooperative. Like, come on.
Come on,
I
ladies.
was
Let's get
raised
it.
to be very
We
independent.
too
So
proud to need anybody, so we might as well stay single.
I think it is a bad thing because when you don't have when you're independent, you got your finances on your own. But it's like when you come into something like, you having a crisis or something, you ain't gonna have that backup. So it's not a good thing because now you don't have that backup income.
meaning that you thinking that you have to be in a 2-person household?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
it's kind of like, it's kind of like a little bit scary because you by yourself, you're paying all your bills, and all of a sudden something happens.
And you don't have
It
that.
depends on what your income is.
Yeah, because I don't have backup, but I make sure that everything is handled, and I'm single, and I don't.
Yeah, I do too,
Yep.
but I'm just saying
Same
it's like,
thing with me.
if you're gonna have your finance, I'm just saying you can have it, but money does run out. You ain't gonna be there for, like, you keep losing the money and you don't have it. It's gonna run out eventually.
It depends on money management. Also, what Ruth said, how much you
Yeah.
make.
Right.
I
It
was going to
depends
talk
on, I
about this.
think, what you're doing with it. How are you getting it? How many streams of income that you have? Like, are you
Right.
really out here hustling, or do you just have one thing that will keep you, like, how are you saving it? What is it that you're doing? Because I don't never, and I don't want to sound cocky in no type of way, but I don't ever feel like I'm going to run out of money. I don't. And it's not because I'm some multimillionaire. It is because I know how to budget. It is because I know how to separate my wants from my needs. And it is also how I don't allow myself to get into a certain danger zone. Now, have I had things happen to where it's like, damn, you got to go and drop like $4,000 on this or $5,000 on that? Don't nobody want to have to do none of that, especially if it's not for something that you want to go do. But
Right.
as a responsible adult, I also have to take into place that may happen. And when it does, I have to be able to have the cushion for that. I also have
Absolutely.
all my kids stay with me. My kids may need help with something. Somebody's car may need something. I might got to go half with them on something or whatever, and this, that, and the third. So I'm always thinking about how do I keep the wheels turning when it comes to this paper, because it's literally always going to be something. That's the story of everybody's life. As soon as you get paid, you got to go and pay your bills. You can't
Right.
even get comfortable with the little check or the checks that you got before you be like, damn, it's the first already, or it's the 15th already. But that's expected though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And we have to also expect the unexpected. Like, we truly do.
It's a lot. It's a lot being a human being, y'all, ladies. And I know
It
we
is.
separated into ladies and men, but just listening to both sides, it's a lot being a human being. It's more of, I think we have to teach and even learn for ourselves of how to be understanding, and like you said, also coming up and actually being more, great stewards of our finances when it comes to being a person that, either whether you're a person making more than the next person or you're a person making less than the next person, still finding that happy medium of being more prepared, being more proactive than reactive, but also making sure you're good.
Absolutely. Like, I want to touch base on what, on Elle's opinion with her saying that she would prefer a 2-person household. I was married, and now that I've been divorced since 2018, I have more finances in my household than when it was 2 people. So I don't think that it all depends on what your income is.
Shit,
So,
Ruth, I didn't save more money since I've been divorced than I did when I was ever married.
right. I've traveled more. I make more
Too.
I didn't
money.
save more money now than I did when I was married to my kids'
I make
daddy.
more,
Right.
save more,
Right. Because when I was
travel
married,
more.
I had a house. I had a 4-bedroom house and I had to sell it because with a husband, I could no longer maintain it. So I had to sell it. So, and I went and I told you I had to go back to my mother's house. I went to my mother's house for probably maybe less than a year. I was probably there 10 months. And then I moved out of state. But after moving out of state, it felt like my wheels was turning. And I was like, how can I get more finances? And I started making sure, being in Georgia, that I was in the right places at the right time. And that's how I got the opportunity in the career that I'm in now, because I was in the right conversation at the right time.
And you hustled even harder because it was just you.
Would you, but I'm
Exactly.
saying, would you start putting things to the side? Have you ladies ever put things to the side because you got in a relationship? Do you think that can be a distraction to you making not making financial
Absolutely.
decision? Great
Of
great
course.
financial decision.
If you're in a relationship with the wrong partner.
Yes.
As a
Yes, I
woman,
was
you
helping them
always
more
got to
than they
put
was
money to the
helping me.
side. As a woman, you
Right.
always got to put money to the side. I don't give a shit if you married to whoever or if
Right.
you dating whoever. As a woman,
Right.
you always have to have your own because
Right.
these dudes
I
will get up
always
and
put.
leave whenever they good and damn ready.
Right.
Yep, I always
And
put money to the side, but also I was handling stuff, so I made you just gotta make sure you stay on top of stuff, so you and just in case you know what I'm saying.
You
And
gotta
you
you
know
gotta
what,
Yeah, I
always have
definitely.
your mind. I think you
Ruth,
gotta
one
have
day too. Hold on,
a
TJ.
great
I'm sorry,
mindset.
Ruth. One day too, we gotta have this discussion about how the women need to make sure that they always have a separate account.
Yep,
Man,
and
because
listen.
I know the dudes
always.
don't be liking to hear that type of shit.
But
What you mean
we
a
talking
separate
about
account
money.
though?
We ain't gotta talk about that on another time.
Right.
This is
Right.
it right here. So y'all feel okay.
It ain't. It's not a lot
We
of
going to
dudes on here.
3:00 today. No,
It's
I'm
not a
just
lot of
playing.
men on here. It's not a lot of men on here. We got to be able to have both sides. We just can't have your side and King
Yeah,
at work.
absolutely. When you get in a relationship, that's why I was saying most time people get in a relationship and they start stopping things. They start thinking that you're becoming one, but you're still an individual, right?
Mhm.
So I totally feel like if you are married or even if you're in a relationship, your necessities, if you want to be better stewards of your money, this is just me. Let's put this amount of money here in a small pot that's going to take care of our necessities, and of course, still have your money to do the things that you want to do. When you want to do things, you should be able to come out of your pocket to have. You want to gift that person with something, or if you want to gift so and so, that's comfort. But as y'all come together and say, "Hey, we're going to do this together," then we can go into our joint savings or whatever to get something together. But as for, I don't want you using my money to buy me something. That's crazy. I could just go and buy it myself, So of course I feel like that, but a lot of people don't feel like that, And so it's like most of the time you get in a relationship is almost stop doing what you're doing to do this, and a lot of people will.
Yes. Yes, because when we are in a relationship as women, we have that quiet pressure on us to do well, but don't do better than him.
Don't do better
So
than
it
yeah.
Oh,
does hold
baby,
us
you do
back.
better than him, child. It's a whole problem.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a disruption in the entire ecosystem.
It's depending on
You doing better than your
depending on the
man.
man.
Trust me, I
It's
know.
depending on the man and how the man was.
We ain't talking
that
about
man
all
was
men,
doing.
TJ. We
Yeah.
talking about that specific type of
That
man.
specific type. Yeah.
Yes, and trust me, I know. Can nobody tell me nothing about it because I know. Don't get me
Right.
started.
Right.
Don't get me started.
Arlene, what's good? Arlene up here. What's up, Miss Kiki? Thanks for coming up. You got something you want to add? Keys family. King came back in the building. But yeah, y'all, we coming up on the final thoughts, y'all. So y'all got anything to add? Unmute yourself and feel free to share. And there's no wrong answer. We love listening to everybody.
Yeah, my final thoughts for the ladies is always have your own shit. Always. I don't care
My
if
final
you're married
thoughts to
to
the
Prince
man.
Charming.
I'm just messing. Go ahead.
Always have your own.
True.
And
She
maybe
right.
you ain't got it. Maybe it won't come to the day
It's
to where
true.
you got to branch out on your own. But in the
Yeah.
event you do, you'll be okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's for both. I'm gonna say for
Yeah,
both.
I think going
I don't
forward,
care about what the man do, TJ.
And then if you're with a man, make sure you're saving your money on the side just in case.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Real good.
exactly.
What you was gonna say, Arlene?
I
I don't
said
care what
going
I don't care
forward,
what
I
the women gotta
definitely
do.
agree
I'm
with
telling
that.
the man this right here. I'm just like
My final thought is don't dim your light. Don't put your dreams on hold. Keep moving forward. And if you are with somebody, make sure they on the same page and got their own motion.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I don't care about the man.
that damn red. Yes. Go ahead, Arlene.
No, I said my piece.
Oh, okay. Miss Kiki, did you have something to say? But no, I would say for both sides, and I'm gonna speak for the guys and say, you guys, we do have to do better in maintaining our finances, but at the same time, a lot of that stuff we got to make sure we're getting into learning that. And as kids, we're not taught it, but can we start teaching our kids about finance, teaching our guys about how to contain and maintain their emotions when dealing with finances, and not having it and not being overly mad because this, what I'm saying, the person you're with don't have what, or have more than what you have, or making more than what you have. A lot of that thing, like I said, is not taught, and is once you get to an older age, you've been groomed so much in toxicity that it becomes a thing. And so it's hard for you to break that system in your head. Because like I said, once you're a sponge and you're soaking up something, that's going to be a part of you for a while, until you either get some counseling and you actually get it reflected back at you. And even once time you get it reflected back at you, then you're afraid of that person that you're seeing in the mirror, and you want to break down, and you still want to be angry and mad. But I'm just saying, a lot of things from here, I think when we're being who we are, with the common sense, with the book sense, with the street sense, we have to be the ones that actually help groom and grow those that are coming after us into that mindset. So try to shift those mindsets and get them out of those toxic ways that they're seeing on reality TVs. They're seeing on other things. But finances is definitely a big part, and it plays a giant role in living a good life. What is a good life? What isn't a good life, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's my final thought on that. And I say, speaking for the men, y'all, let's just do better at holding our masculine toxic side down, right, and suppressing it a little bit, so we can actually be a better better piece of society, and also be able to be in better relationships.
Right. Absolutely. So we got 5 minutes left, y'all. These are my final notes that I have here. Rel, welcome back. When we was having the questions for the ladies and about financial independence, is it encouraged or punished? When it comes to men and women, I feel like for men, when they're independent, they're praised for that. But then for women, we get questioned because we don't need help. I've gone through that for years myself personally, because I don't never ask for nothing, because I don't need it. I feel like I make up shit in my head to ask certain people for things just so that they could feel needed.
Pass the phone. Where he at?
So, a lot of women, we need to unlearn being strong and trying not to make them uncomfortable. Make them uncomfortable. Who cares? That will push them to get their game up.
Make each other uncomfortable.
Come on.
I'm going to say that. Make each
We
other
were talking about ladies, TJ.
punching each other. I'm messing with you. Y'all know I'm
not performing no more. I'm not performing for these men no more. I'm just gonna be me, and that's that. You accept it or you don't.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I can't change. I can change, and I can move things around for the relationship. But as of right now, I ain't got no relationship. So I'm gonna do what I do, and you accept what you accept. This is what it is, okay? But just so you men understand, women don't want to be taken care of. Majority of us, let me not say all. Majority of us don't want to be taken care of. We just want to feel safe.
Yeah.
And what I mean by being safe is you guys got to be consistent, be stable, and we don't want to have to beg for none of that.
I feel women don't want to be. They don't want to be the. They don't want. They a lot of them don't want to have to be their masculine
Right.
energy, right?
Absolutely.
And so and the reason why they get into that is because a man isn't bringing that masculine energy to suppress it from the woman, so the woman can be in their feminine energy.
Exactly.
So
I made a
Well,
post about that on my
hold
page
on.
a while ago.
I also think what you said though, Ruth, about I think that's up for interpretation as about being taken care of and the
Right.
security and the financial part. I think that's all cohesive
Right.
if we are dealing with a well functioning machine.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Because at any time, I would love to be taken care of. I ain't gonna sit up here and fucking say that I wouldn't love that. I would love
Right.
that.
Right.
But the likelihood of you also have to look at what your individual definition of taking care of is also.
Right.
Because a
For
lot of times,
everybody.
because I understand why you said what you said, because a lot of times women that are successful or deemed as successful, again, in the eye of the beholder,
Right.
if we can financially take care of ourselves, house, cars, we could travel, whatever it is that you do, and then the man comes in and he feels like he can't do anything for you,
Mhm.
men don't like dealing in intangibility.
Right.
That's what you
I
said.
dated someone like that. He told me that straight up.
But
You
that's
got it
the
all
majority
together.
of
What can
men.
I do for you? What am
That's
I
the
adding
majority
to
of
your
men.
life?
So when we say we don't necessarily need to be taken care of, no, we may not need it, but they want to be able to handle the
Right.
tangible things.
Yes.
So when they can't, that brings in a problem. A man don't really give a shit about taking care of your feelings. Men don't give a shit about none of that.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't.
But that
They
is
just
something
don't.
that's something that needs to be done though. A lot of
I
women,
understand that, TJ. And again, I always tell you though, you are the anomaly when it comes to certain things. So we are talking about society and we are talking about men in general. It's easier for a man to provide you with the tangibles than the intangibles. Men mostly are not tapped into the emotional side of anything but anger. We just talked about that when you said men are the ones out here unaliving everybody because they can't control their feelings, right?
right.
So the things that we might need that's on the intangible side, that's where the clash comes in because they either can't or won't provide it. They don't get revered for providing the intangibles.
They
They get
can if the women will revere them for that. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's like,
they
are
could,
you
but
are
that
you
is not the
serious? Are
structural
you
setup.
being
And I'm not
it's
going against what you're saying. Trust me, I'm not.
it's really
But
not.
we
It's
got to
what
look at the reality.
it's the reality is there. The reality is definitely there with what is going on, but because we are not helping each other grow. We're not giving that person what we want or how we feel. If we want that, hey, I want you to take care of me personally, emotionally, the physical part. Yeah, I know that's what you're on, but this is what matters. This
But
is what
a lot
matters.
of men don't know how to do. They can't even regulate their own emotions. They
And
can't help you with yours because that's not how y'all are brought up typically. So
that
when a
is-
woman, my point is that when a woman pops out and says, I don't physically, quote unquote, want to be taken care of because I have the house, I have all of these things that we can touch and pay
it's really
for.
wise. Yep.
That is how a man is typically programmed to show love.
Right.
So you can want him all day to do this for you and do that for you and be romantic and make you feel special because as a woman, that is important to us. It's important.
Yeah.
But what he feels is important is making sure that you got a damn roof over your head. and all of those
and he
things that
can
he can
and he can
provide
feel
for that way. It's
yeah,
the last thing on his mind
yeah.
to sit up here and be romanticizing you and caking you. And I'm not saying that it's okay or it's wrong or whatever, but that's typically how this goes. That's where the clashing
That is
happens.
typical how it goes, and that is the biggest
Yes.
clash. But like I said, when people get into there and people start actually learning each other and also being able to voice those things and helping each other in those things, because just because you're grown on me, you're not prone to learning. Is are you willing to?
But in
And
this
if you're
age,
not,
and that's what I'm saying. There you go. But in this age bracket that we are in, we'll say we're middle aged because everybody on here is
yeah.
at least 40 plus, I think, or close to it.
I'm gonna be 47 on Monday.
Hey, happy
So
birthday!
with that being said, the willingness to change certain things about yourself is not going to happen depending on how important you do or don't feel it is.
Right.
That's just real talk. I
If
hate to be
you,
the
but I
person
feel like if
that's saying it,
you're
but it's
really
the truth.
wanting to be with that person and really wanting that person in your life, and that person is stating this to you, you will make those changes as an adult. You can make those type of changes if that's something that you really want. If you can't and you choosing not to as a whole adult, is because that's not what you really want.
But
And
then you know
therefore,
how that comes
you got to
back? I
be
did
able
these things for you.
step off.
I did these things for you. And then when the shit hits the fan, that person says, I did this for you. I never wanted to so and so, but I did this for you.
And a lot of that don't come into effect until it comes to you now complaining about that, or people start having issues with how they are doing it. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of things that affect that when it comes to, well, I was doing this for you, but it's on that don't come in just out of the blue. If you're doing it and they're not complaining or saying anything or making any complaints about how you're doing it. And the thing is, that's what we will go in our mind, is that I want you to do it this way. I want you to do it this way, versus you are allowing them to do it in the way that they know how as they're growing in that sense. But when we're going to that way of saying, hey, I wanted it to be this way, and I was complaining, now the person's like, damn, it's damn if I do, I'm damn if I don't. So of course now when the relationship ends, heck, I was doing this for you, and but that don't happen off the rip of just, hey, I'm starting to change for you, and because I feel some kind of way, I'm just gonna now start saying some craziness to you. That just don't happen. It happens because something has pushed it to that point. But
It's a slippery
that other
slope,
person
man.
started making
It's a
decisions
slippery slope.
not going right. So, but yeah, but I just
It's a
say
slippery slope, man.
it is. It very much is. Like I said, but I'm just saying, don't shut yourselves off to it. You know, to relationships. It will come, even if it happened in your 60s, like
And
myself.
sometimes
I
you
was
do
in
need
my 60s, 65 is the goal. But nonetheless, go be great, y'all. Rufus, we are overtime. We done went overtime today.
oh,
Right.
real fun.
Great conversation though.
I am not messing with you talking about 65. Child.
65 is the goal.
That's not the goal. DJ.
Mine is any day now. Any day.
Any day now. Okay. What are you doing to make that any day possible? And what are you
Working
doing
on me.
to
She
Continue
also
to,
she
make sure
praying
those
every day.
people
yeah, working on
praying? There
me,
you go.
minding my business,
Minding
continuing
my
to take care of
business.
my kids. That's it.
That's red all the time. Minding my business.
That's it. That's what I always say. What you doing? Minding my business and staying out of yours.
Right.
Oh man, y'all.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be on y'all case every time. So make sure y'all come back every weekend. I will definitely be that devil's advocate. We gonna talk about it. Let's go and do it. Let's do it. So the fellas that came on board, thank y'all for not being afraid to come up and speak. And we gonna have a good time every week. We're gonna run it back tomorrow, y'all. So the thoughts that we didn't get across today, come on, bring them back tomorrow, so we can definitely get them. We can get them out and get them heard. It's all about growing and learning. Okay, so thank you guys for joining the Hard Truths podcast. Once again, we are over time. I'm passing it back to Ruth, the hostess with the mostest. Let's go.
Yes. Oh shoot. Super bad. She over here. Okay, let me change her because we not ready to listen to Super Bad. We got Money, Power, and Respect by the Locks, Old School featuring Lil Kim. That was the Hard Truth podcast. If it made you uncomfortable, sit with it. We will see you next time. Y'all, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. We will see you tomorrow. We talking money tomorrow. Till
Y'all
later.
tomorrow, Heart Truth Podcast. Be on TJ Knowles profile, but of course, if you're on here and you're seeing it on Ruth the Truth page, you'll see us all together. So make sure y'all come back tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Well, different bat channel, but you can say the same bat channel because hey, you're gonna see us anyway. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's go. Have an amazing rest of y'all Saturday. Big dog, love you. Thanks for coming up.
Oh, sorry. I hit reds and it did TJ. My bad, TJ. Thank you so much for joining, y'all. Appreciate it.
Keep hunger and plan for the future, cause you figure you gonna be older way longer than you gonna be younger. Keep it alive.
Money, power, respect, what you need in life.
Money, power, respect, eating right.
Money, power, respect.
Sleep at night.
You'll see the light. What's the key to life? Money, power, respect.
Eating life.
Money, power, respect. You be eating right. Money, power, respect. Money, power, respect. Money, power, respect.
Key to life.
Only time can tell how the clock tick.
I really love hair, but I'm still a hostage.
Two personalities, check the posture.
Smoke out the mouth, flare out the nostrils. Thinking death, that life seems scary.
I'm past the graveyard seeing people Hail Mary.
I ain't chilling till I'm out
Parachuting.
for about 10 diamonds, 25,000 apiece. Fuck streets.
Trying to own an island, forget about.
Wildin', try riding. In the car that be gliding. If I showed you where I live, you would think I was hiding.
If y'all don't want to get pushed in somebody else's live, now's your time to hit that X. Just letting y'all know that, man.
Shit go like
Key to
spit
life. Money, power, respect, eating life.
Money, power, respect.
Eating right.
Money, power, respect.
Sleep at night. You'll see the light.
It's
Key to life.
money, power, respect. What you need in life. Money, power, respect. You be eating right. Money, power, respect. Money, power, respect.
Yo, nothing but the hotness.
Whenever we drop this.
Monotonous for y'all to keep hating, cause y'all never
Don't
gonna
stop
stop
this.
I keep my rock spotless and my hoes topless.
Take time to try to figure out who the locks is.
Fear no one, kick rhymes like Shogun. You scared to blow one.
Get robbed with your own
gun. If I don't respect you,
I'ma check you, and if I don't kiss you, I'ma peck you. Right before I wet you, I sneeze on tracks and bless you. I'm special.
And if you like working out, then I'm gonna stretch you.
Hustling
is
is
dead, but we still get red.
turn the spots in the bakeries to get baked bread.
And y'all said my money spent, but it's in the bed. So when the feds come,
Come,
the dogs
oh,
can't
fit.
get a cent.
And my story's self-explanatory. I'm the hottest thing on the street, and y'all ain't got nothing on me.
Yeah.
Hey, money, power, respect. Money, power, respect. You'll see the light. What's the key to life? Money, power, respect. What you need in life? Money, power, respect. You been eating right. Money, power, respect. Money, power, respect. Money, power, respect. This is a beat that you can freak. Know my skills. Wet them up and watch them up. Get them up. Set them up. When you do dirt, you get dirt. What's up, Steve? We about to be out. Just listening to our song of the day because we was talking money. Money, power, respect. Starting to rap and hell is hot. I know because of, baby, I'm going down, baby. Get the full pound, baby. Thank you. Did I? Can I get mine? Is it gone? DMX represent for one time for the song. Hey. Money, power, respect, you be eating right. We was talking money today on the podcast. What's up, L? I see you just got here. I see you. The podcast is over. I'm about to hit that end button. We was talking about money, so we listening to Money, Power, Respect, featuring DMX and Lil Kim, The Locks.
What's up, Dr. Shalom?
Y'all have the best day. We talking money tomorrow, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day.